The seas off the Outer Banks of North Carolina are referred to as the graveyard of the Atlantic because of all the ships they've claimed over the years. Well, there is one shipwreck that you can actually go walk up to and see for yourself. I'll tell you about it next. Now, the Cape Hatteras Seashore, just south of Ramp 4, between Ramp 4 and Oregon Inlet, sits the Ocean Pursuit. How did it get here? Well, it was making its way from Norfolk to Morehead City on February 29th. In the early morning hours of March 1st, ran into some engine trouble, tried to make it into Oregon Inlet, couldn't, and ended up about 50 yards offshore. That was on March 1st. This video is from March 5th, and you can see by March 14th where this photo is from, it has moved a lot closer to the edge of the shoreline. And it's going to come even closer. But at this point, it still looks like, hey, if the right set of waves come along, the right time, if the tide is right, you could pull it right back out into the water. That truck's not going to pull it out. Funny shot though, right? All right, so there it is, Ocean Pursuit. Got a sign saying don't try to climb on it. At that point, you could have still gotten caught out there if the tides are right. But fast forward to April 1st, a storm blows in, and that's not good news for Ocean Pursuit at this point. Sam Walker taking this video on April Fool's Day, right as that blow was going on. Fast forward 2 weeks later, and you can see how much sand has accumulated in the bow area of Ocean Pursuit. Now we're at July 5th. The bow is gone. Look how much sand is there now. I mean, that's just from the middle of March to July 5th. How much more sand has been added into Ocean Pursuit. I mean, it does look like it's sinking into the sand at this point. And I guess indeed it was. So it's easy to climb on the ship at this point, even though it was frowned on by the Park Service. It became the thing to do. Just remember those earlier videos and how much water we saw going into Ocean Pursuit. And now we fast forward to August 30th. At this point, you can't drive up to it. You can't drive to the Ocean Pursuit during certain times of the year, during the summertime when they have closures for birds and turtles and what have you. But you can certainly walk to it just about any time of the year that you want to. Look at the amount of sand that's on Ocean Pursuit now. The sand has even made its way into the bridge area. Loaded with sand, all the seawater that's been in at this point. Now, the hazardous material was removed going back to March 9th. They were still thinking about trying to salvage the ship at that point, got fuel off and some other oily materials. But August 30th, it is sunk into the sand. Now that's going to change, and part of this video is to demonstrate how much it does change, how much the shoreline changes, and you can see its effect here on this ship. It's starting to come back out of the sand a little bit. I mean, that whole area up to the little observation area in front of the bridge had been under sand. The numbers are now visible again on Ocean Pursuit. And remember how much sand was in the back of the ship? It's all gone now. It's coming back out of the water. Hey, there's the bow. We haven't seen part of the bow. Well, some of the bow's still under the sand, isn't it? But that top part, that was under sand too. So maybe it's coming out. Maybe we are going to get Ocean Pursuit off of the beach. Well, I don't know. Still quite a bit of sand in there, isn't it? Now, that's not going into the bridge. That's going into one of the lower areas of the ship. But remember, all of that was covered up with sand just about 6 weeks prior to when this video was shot on August 30th. Ocean Pursuit, it is still sitting between Ramp 4 and the Mark Basnight Bridge in Oregon Inlet. Now, we are at October the 18th. A little blow came in. And, well, the Ocean Pursuit is sinking again into the sand and into the water. It's not really disturbing wildlife. Look at that flock of American oyster catchers right there. They're maybe going to check out the ship. Hey, we can get this thing out of here, right? Yeah, so here we are on November 22nd. And it's still stuck in the sand pretty good. I mean, there's not as much sand in the stern of the ship as there was back in August. But still, that's going to be a very difficult ship to salvage out of the sand. Will it become a permanent fixture on the Cape Hatteras Seashore? Only time will tell. Still, going back to this March 5th video, it does look like with the right set of circumstances, the right tide, you could just float it right back out to sea. So it could resume its life as a commercial scallop boat. As a matter of fact, this is what it looked like in its glory days, when it was still out fishing the seas. 41-year-old ship, the Ocean Pursuit, stuck in the sand now. How do we go see it? All right, well, we're headed south on Highway 12, right before you get to the Mark Bass Knight Bridge, right across from Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. You make the turn onto Ramp 4. Now, don't proceed down Ramp 4 if you don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle. If you don't, you can pull into the parking lot that you'll see coming up on the right. And yeah, listen, it's going to be a little bit of a walk, but not too bad. It's about a half mile south of Ramp 4. Air down. If you have a four-wheel drive vehicle, please air down, especially in the summertime. Now, I'm going out in the fall right now. I'm still aired down, but you can see the beach looks like it's packed up pretty good. In the summertime, this sand is soft, it's sugary, and you will easily get stuck. Air down. Like I said, 20 psi is recommended. Sometimes in the middle of the summer, you need to go down to 15 just so you don't tear your vehicle up. I mean, and that is one of the main reasons to air down, so you don't overheat the transmission in your vehicle and burn it up on the beach. You don't want that to happen. So, all right, so we are headed south. You can see the Mark Bass Knight Bridge and some of the cranes still working on the removal of the old Bonner Bridge. And you can also see straight ahead, there's the Ocean Pursuit. There are two other shipwrecks on Body Island, the Laura Barnes and then the Lois Joyce. And many OBXers are going to remember the Lois Joyce. That one was lost in a December 1981 storm. Right there at Oregon Inlet, you can still see some of the remains of the Lois Joyce from time to time. Got to drive to that one, though, so only certain times of the year. So the Boiler is another one that folks talk about. Now, that is south of Oregon Inlet. It's right across from the parking area at the Self-Guided Nature Trail at Pea Island. Go out on the beach there, you can see the Boiler, which is from the Oriental. Right now, though, we're talking about Ocean Pursuits. Here it is, between Ramp 4 and Oregon Inlet on the Cape Hatteras National Seashore. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little drive on the beach today. I'm Mike Smith, Moose from MooseOBX.com and the Outer Banks Realty Group. Thanks for watching.